All right, the fire chief, Matthew Pegg, is giving an update now on the 5-alarm industrial fire in the West End. Let's listen.
And it's a hard building to get to by the looks of things. I mean, even having to shoot over the train tracks to get into it.
It is. It's a challenging geography where that is. Obviously, like you said, the train, the rail line causes some logistical challenges for us. We were able to get aerial ladders, and certainly Tower 1 we're able to get up over the top, which has been a huge benefit. The command team made the decision, and appropriately so, have been able to keep the rail line open for the majority of the time. So we're working, our command post is in collaboration with the rail, all of the rail users, so we're able to let them move through safely. We'll monitor that continuously. At this point in time, the wind is favorable to let that happen, so we're able to maintain that, so that's good news.
Down in that area, it's actually very residential, lots of construction itself down that area. How crucial is it for people who actually live in an area as far as, like, taking cover?
Yeah, so like I said, we've been to all of those, all of the residential units in that area. Our recommendation is, again, stay inside, keep your doors and windows closed. If anyone is encountering smoke inside their home, or they feel that they're at any risk, they really call 911 and we'll come and evaluate. Like I said, we have crews here, we have our hazardous materials team here that will come and assist, but at this point in time, the majority of people have elected not to leave the area. They're staying, protecting in place in accordance with our instruction and our recommendation.
How difficult was it even for crews even to get to that area? Because, like I said, there's lots of construction, a lot of road closures.
Yeah, it's challenging. Of course, an industrial unit there with the rail line in the back is tough, but our crews do such a good job of making access and getting there. We are equipped with some very unique equipment. I talked about Tower 1, that's our 70-meter articulating aerial. And this is an example of why that is such important equipment in the city. We can get up and over top and deploy the water that we need to control the spread. I should also say, with great credit to the operations crews here and the command team, it does not appear at this point any significant, if at all, any extension or exposure to the buildings next door. They've been able to control that, so that's great. That's great news. Of course, that there will be a detailed assessment of that as part of the investigation, but no indication of exposure or spread at this point.
That is good news. Chief, can you talk to us about the amount of staff and crew members here, and just the overall turning around of rotation? You mentioned because it is complex with the wind and the smoke. You were mentioning the breathing apparatus for your crew members.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources here. We have the total count right now is, I think, 51. That includes about 15 command units, chief units, support units, and then about 35 heavy frontline trucks. There is a rotation going on. The command team will rotate people through. You probably will see what we call our air light trucks cycling through. So those are the trucks that carry a quantity of the bottles that the firefighters wear on their back. They will replenish, and then they will leave the scene. They'll go back to a breathing air compressor, refill them, and come back. So a lot of rotation going on. In an operation this size, that's one of the most challenging things that happen in the command post, is that whole logistical work, and of course working in collaboration with Toronto Police on traffic management and doing our best to limit the impact there. And as always, Toronto paramedics are with us here. Always a really important protection, not only for the public we're protecting, but for our people as well.
It might be hard to say, but do you have an estimated timeline as far as how this is going to make an impact on road closures and traffic?
I don't at this point. So we don't actually have a forecast yet as to when we're going to start to be releasing or opening roads. The next command cycle briefing in the command post, that is absolutely on the agenda, and again, working in direct collaboration with Toronto Police. But at this point in time, we have a very significant amount of trucks here. There's a lot of hose connected to a number of different hydrants, so it unfortunately makes a lot of the roads impassable here. And I know that's really problematic, and I really appreciate everyone's patience.
The word we were getting earlier is that the damage was pretty extensive. So can you give me an update on that and how bad it would be?
Yeah, there is an extensive amount of damage to the building that's involved in fire. The fire has extended through the roof. We've experienced a partial, at least, collapse of the roof. There's some concerns about the stability of the outside walls. So that's another one of the reasons why we operate in defensive operations. So our firefighters are not inside, they are outside the potential collapse zone so that they're kept safe. And that's one of the reasons why you see such a large concentration of aerials deploying, because we can do that safely.
In the initial response, did any firefighters enter to just check the building initially at the first call? Were there any people inside?
Yeah, there was the initial crews that arrived were able to make contact with staff in the building. The best news that we get ever is that everyone is out of the building. So the staff that were in the building indicated we're all out, everybody's safe, nobody's injured. That significantly reduces the risk that our crews will assume. If we can't get confirmation of that, of course, our crews will make entry and put themselves in harm's way to effect the rescue. But the information that the initial crews were given is that everyone was out, everyone's safe, and that allowed them to go very quickly into fire attack operations.